hyped up. No, this is
let's go.
Fuck small dick problems.
Okay, we are live.
Yo, what's going on?
Welcome.
All right, guys, what's going on here?
What are we doing today? What are we looking into?
We're going to talk about small dick problems. Look, we've noticed that a lot of our viewers, they reached out and they said, Mark, Alex, I have a small dick problem. I have a lot of questions. Can you do an entire live stream about this? And
how do I get my game so good?
I think they were ex-Todd V students. Actually, they
right.
Yeah, they came from Todd V. They said, listen, we have small penises. It's a big problem that we're facing.
Yes.
Please help. Yeah. And Alex and David equipped to answer this.
We're both authorities on this subject.
Hey, listen, I just got back from my fourth and fifth booster, actually. So I got my booster shots. I got my small dick problems. So here I am.
All right. Yeah. So we have questions by the small dick fans.
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Say again? Yeah.
Who's pulling up? We pulling up on Reddit or?
Yeah, let's pull it up.
All right.
No, Reddit is banned in Indonesia, so I have to use a VPN to access it.
Okay, yeah. Suppress the truth.
Indonesia is banning everything.
They don't want to help the small dick.
Indonesians are well-known leftists, actually.
It's a fucking conspiracy against small dicks. Yeah,
exactly.
I think so. Small dick gate. I know what this shit is.
Mark, how much fentanyl would it take to kill a small dick? What do you think?
Not much.
What are the numbers on that? You want to type that into ChatGPT or something, or what?
Yeah, we'll figure that one out. I don't think it's the small dicks aren't very good at processing fentanyl. So.
Yeah, people aren't going to understand that.
No, that's,
you want to tell them the debate we were having before? Why we're a little bit late joining.
We're gonna get restricted. We will talk about this shit.
We'll so restricted. That's all right. So yeah, we'll chatting about that.
The question, the debate. We've been going at this for years.
This is actually why we're late. We actually signed in at fucking 8 p.m. or like half an hour ago. So if you guys are waiting, it's because we were yelling at each other. So
it was about how George Floyd really died.
Yeah.
Swift thought it was small dick depression.
Small dick. That's why we're doing this live stream.
He had someone with like his, suppressing his breath.
Could you imagine being 6'6" and a small dick?
That would.
That makes you look even smaller.
That'd be worse.
That's rough.
No. Say, guys, I have a small penis. All right, perfect. All right, you're hearing right.
Awesome. Fuck yeah.
By the way, this isn't the only thing we're talking about for the guys that are joining. All right, we're going to tell them. This isn't a 3-hour stream on this.
No.
But yeah, let's. Hey, do you want us to pull that up, Swifty? Alex, do you want to pull it up?
Are you able to screen share? It's really weird from this computer.
I don't think I have screen sharing privileges, or do I?
I think you do.
Oh, okay. Which post, Swift? Do you want to? Is it this last one you sent me?
Bro, like all you have to do is just scroll through. You could really pick any of them.
So much choice. You're going to a link outside. All right, follow link. Mature content. I am over 18. Ha, got him. Okay.
Actually, I think the big dick problems are actually a little bit funnier.
All right. Well, can you?
Yeah, hold on one second.
I don't know where it's taking me, bro. I'm not signing into Reddit.
Is the link not working?
I mean, which link? The last one you sent me?
Yeah, either one of these two.
That just took me to Reddit because it's going through Facebook. So I think when I click follow link. Oh wait, hang on, maybe. No, I need to sign in. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had a girl, like different girls, different times, of course, like one girl say your dick is too small and another girl say it's too big?
I don't think so.
No? You've never had that?
No.
It
It sounds like you.
same girl, just like
sounds
You know what I
like
mean?
very
Like
specific.
some girls is like too big and some girls is like just not big enough.
nah.
I don't
They
think
really
so.
Stopped, I mean, maybe if I was in hard, maybe she'd be like, "Hey, what's going on?" But
Mm,
all right, how do
maybe.
I current this isn't letting me share. Here we go. Big.
You got it?
Yeah, just type it into Google search. I can't send the link directly.
Mm.
You need a VPN, bro.
It's
Nah, I
not
have
Marcus
one.
Wolfer. There we go. All right.
Yeah, big. My girlfriend vomited on it.
Yeah, are we doing? I thought we were doing small dick problems. What's going on?
Shit, we could do both.
Are you able to zoom in a little bit, maybe?
Hang on, bro.
If you have a.
Okay.
Okay, it looks better.
All right. What am I going to? Do you want me to read this out?
Yeah, let's read this.
My girlfriend vomited on it. She told me she could deep throat and believed her ass. I didn't think she'd be so prideful and not stop until she barfed. My penis still feels tender still. I never expected it, but vomit is hot, scalding hot, and it hurt when she did it. Why is vomit porn a thing when it probably hurts both the dude and the girl? The stupidest part about this is that I'm not even that big compared to some guys in this sub. I thought my penis was pretty big, but some of those flares make me wonder how you guys even get blowjobs. Edit. I didn't realize that so many people would think that I was being hateful when I called her a dumbass. I was affectionate. We call it to each other. I love that defense. It's fucking moron. I mean, affectionately, she's a moron.
Exactly.
Has this ever happened? Have girls ever vomited on you guys?
Oh, bro, I had this last week. It was fucking gross.
Yeah, it is gross. She's like on the dick, or
Yeah.
you like diverted her away?
Oh, and all over my dick, my stomach.
Damn.
It was not fun. Yeah, it is very hot, and it leaves a smell for.
Well, I would
couple.
stop them before. How would you stop them before?
Nah, bro, you can
Yeah.
can do it.
I like the gagging. Like that's kind of hot. I don't like the follow through. Girls need to learn to just tease it out a little bit without,
Yeah. You have to make like a snap second decision. Like, is it worth it? Yes or no. I mean, most of the time it's probably just not going to be worth it. You clean that shit up.
Bro, I had a girl and I asked her like, what's the craziest thing she's done or like weirdest thing or some shit. I forget what I asked. But she told me this story how she saw on porn there was a girl that like drank milk apparently and then gave her like boyfriend a blowjob and then vomited and it was like just white, like a lot of like white liquidy stuff and she was really hot. So then like she drank like, I don't know, like a liter of milk or some shit, sucked her boyfriend's dick. And then she said when she vomited, it wasn't like the video, it was all like curdled and shit and it was just like absolutely gross. Like, bruh.
She did that on purpose.
Yeah, they did it on purpose. She's like, she saw her in porn and it was like really hot. And she's like, let's do this. And then it wasn't like the clear, fluidy, like white liquor. It was just like curdled up and shit.
That sounds fucking
Bro, women are fucking gross.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Like I don't think a guy would ever suggest that shit.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Only a girl would come up with that.
Having a big dick as a man of color.
I get it. We all love to have our egos struck. The reactions we get from our gifted endowment, although that's all well and good, I have a slight problem with some of the comments and reactions, although positive, I receive from some women. As a man of color, it's really off-putting to me when someone comments on my dick size with the undertone of racial superiority. That is, give me that big Mexican. I was not expecting Mexican. Or white boys can't compare to big round dicks. I feel like I'm just an object in someone's fucked up fantasy at that point, and I'm turned off. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this way, but I think it's right. In my opinion, if you seek a certain, how do I see like this whole thing?
You gotta click.
Okay. Yeah, I don't, in my opinion, if you seek a certain race, ethnic group solely on the basis for having bigger dicks or other specific attributes, you're an asshole. Damn, this guy needs to stop being so
Yeah,
fucking
he's so
racist.
emotional.
Jesus Christ.
This
Do you know what
guy
this
is
reminds me of?
what?
Do you know when you have like a really good looking student and he's like, I don't like how girls just like me for my looks. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like,
Who
that's who you are.
cares?
Okay. You're a
Yeah.
good looking guy. She likes you for being good looking. Like, what do you want? Like to like a girl to just meet you and suddenly be like, oh my god, I just like you for you. Like, she doesn't know who the fuck you are. Like, at the moment you're
Yeah,
a good
she would
looking
be
dude.
lying if she said that.
Yeah, it's
She would
fucking
be
retarded.
lying. Yeah.
Yeah, and this guy, like, yeah, I want that big Mexican. And he's like, wow, you just like me because I'm Mexican? They're like,
Yeah.
dude, settle down.
Also, like, let's be real. Like, you're liking her for her looks. Like, you can't be a hypocrite.
Yeah, or her
I'm
race,
thinking.
right? Like,
Yeah.
everyone's got a preference. Like, it's just like this actually unironically reminds me of people getting racially offended for other people. Like, he's just trying to like find something that could be racial here. It's like, dude, settle down. It's not
Yeah.
about your race.
Yeah. Exactly. But he sounds like so emotional and so fucking whiny.
Yeah.
Small dick problems. What are we doing?
They got some weird shit on Reddit.
Ever.
Like, Reddit has gotten much more weird in the past 10 years.
Yeah, well, this is not safe for work. That's
Yeah.
You should have had like a post ready for me, bro.
No, they're all fucking good.
All right, well, let me. Are these just all? Yeah, I don't know, bro. I should have found one. All right, well, what's the sentiment on there? What are they? Is it just like women fucking don't like them because they got a small dick? What are they? What's the sentiment? What's that?
No, actually, it feels like they're all almost fetishizing themselves as small dick guys. It's almost like they're getting turned on by degrading each other in a way. So one thing that you'll notice in this thread, anybody who tries to encourage them, like, hey, it's okay to have a small dick, you get a great personality, they get pissed off. They react so fucking strongly, like, no, fuck you, I have a small dick, and this is the way it's gonna be. So I feel like they're getting turned on by degrading themselves or having other people degrade them for having a small dick.
Dude, that's
it's
funny.
one way to handle the small dick.
I actually had on like the podcast Cat and Mark show with we had an OnlyFans girl on there, and she was saying like one of the most enjoyable things she does, and apparently she gets a lot of clients like doing this, is just grading people for penis size. So guys will just like send in photos of themselves, and then she'll just like fucking berate them and roast them, and it's just like a fetish that they have. It's very.
What do you think that comes from?
You know what? I think it's a part of owning it. Like, I actually don't think it's a bad thing. Like, let me think of an example here. It's almost like the ultimate
process,
test.
like part of the process of accepting it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think it's like the ultimate way to deal with the shit test, right? Like, if someone was like, oh my god, like, what's wrong with your clothes? Like, I would own that shit. If someone's like, hey man, you're a bit fat, I'd own that shit, right? Like, I think it's it might be like taking the power back. Like, yeah, dude, I've got it, right? There's nothing you can say to me. Maybe that's a part of it. I don't know.
Do you think they get like actual sexual pleasure?
I'm sure some of them do, 100%. Yeah. And there might be like a degradation kink that's kind of in the back of that. Like, maybe it's the ultimate degrading thing. Like, maybe that's the thing that they the least happy about themselves. Maybe that could be another thing. I'm not too sure.
What if you had a girl, like Mark, you have for anybody who doesn't know, Mark has a huge dick. What if the girl starts degrading you? This is important information, right? Like, what if she starts degrading you because your dick is too big?
No,
how would you react to that? Oh, look at that big dick. It's so fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
You think you're a big man with this big dick, That's so sad. Look at that. You can barely even fuck most girls because it's too fucking big. How pathetic.
That would I probably wouldn't mind it as long as she enjoyed me retaliating. Like if this is her way of
dude.
like testing and baiting and like being a little bit bratty, that I'd actually prefer. But if she just wanted to do this and then I went to retaliate, or was like, oh, well, you little fight, and then she's like, whoa, that's really mean. Don't say that to me. Then I'd be like, all right, this is dumb. This is just like no fun for either of us now. Like, yeah. So
What if she really actually wants you to feel a little bit degraded? Like she doesn't want you to react. Like she's actually trying to degrade you.
Not for me. Not for me. I don't. I like girls like on the end of the spectrum is like very submissive, and this I feel is on the end of the spectrum is like very dominant. So like, I mean, not for me, man. Yeah. What about you? If a girl started saying it to you,
oh, like, bro, yeah, I'll be like, look, I've been working out. I added a few inches to my dick. I lost 120 pounds. No, I kind of, yeah, bro. I got a lot more. I got a lot more reactions, big dick reactions. After I lost 120 pounds. So
apparently,
I got like this. I got like, oh no, this is too big. This is too big. No, I don't know about this.
It's like apparently you grow an inch for every like 20 pounds you lose or something. This is what I heard. Yeah,
you gain an inch every 20 pounds or so. Is it 20 or 30 pounds? Yeah. I remember. Look, dude, I saw this girl after, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. Okay, haven't seen her during the time that I was losing all this weight, and I remember fucking her, and she stops and looks at me, and goes, "Did your dick get bigger? What the fuck?" I was like, "Yeah, a few inches."
That's what? So what do you? This is the question then. Okay?
Right.
This is the real question.
What is
you're a guy. You're a guy sitting at home. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Small penis. What do you do? What's the solution?
Oh, are we actually giving solutions? I thought we were just making fun of small dicks or something. No, okay, we could make this like viable. Well, I don't know. We don't have small dicks here. What advice do you give your small dick students?
Yeah,
what's that?
Yeah, you told me. No, honestly, like the biggest piece of advice here is sex is a wholesome entire experience. Like there's so many things that factor in here. I think guys just worry about penetration and penis like way too much, right? Like they're way too focused on it. If you speak to girls, their best sexual experience, if they've had one, it is always going to be like lesbian. Like girl to girl experience, they always rate is higher. And the reasons is girls are more open. They take more time with each other. There's more focus on the clit as opposed to like vaginal penetration. They explore each other's fantasies. So if you just incorporate these things, like obviously lesbians don't even have a dick. Like they have the smallest dick possible and they still give a much better experience than everyone else. So yeah, just like fucking don't stress about it. Like it's not the biggest like worry in the world. I would be more worried if you just had poor sexual experiences where girls are just like, I'm not enjoying this whatsoever. This guy's horrible. And that doesn't matter how big your dick is. So I think, just focus on getting good at lesbian sex essentially. And you'll be sweet.
Yeah. What do you think the top 3 things guys should learn, like sexual skills in the bedroom? Like if they were to really focus on like 1 or 2 specific things, let's say they have a Tinder fuck date or they're on a date and they bring the girl back. So like they walk into their place. What are like 1 or 2, 3 things they should really focus on to make the experience better?
I think 1 would be communication. So 1, understanding exactly what she's into or what she's missing out on, helping her to like open up to that and explain it to you, I think would be number 1. Then number 2 would be dominance. So like learning to lead, learning to take control. This could be involved in like dirty talk or just like your actions, your demeanor. That umbrella could then extend on to learning to tie her up or at least having some like cuffs or something along those lines. And then lastly, would just be pussy eating, right? It's usually, if you speak to girls, the easiest way for them to come is usually clitoral. This way, most of the stimulation they're going to experience. So if you can understand what she wants, which is usually going to be dominance, be able to supply that dominance, and then be good at pussy eating. I think these are probably the three. I'm curious if you guys have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys have this issue where they practice the pussy eating and everything. They get to the point where they go down on the girl, and the girl says, "No, I don't like this. I'm not into pussy eating." And then they get stumped right there. They do not know what to do. They're like, should I push through this anyway and try to eat her out? Sometimes the girls will let me, but they're not really enjoying it. So they get stumped at that point, and they don't know how to move it forward.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what would your advice be?
Yeah, I think it's important to have a few skills in your tool belt is a way to think about it, because girls will be into different things. Like some might like pure dominance, some might like pussy eating, some might like more of a sensual, like tantric experience. So just having some basic knowledge around those different elements and how to be able to supply it, because this isn't a hugely difficult skill. Like someone just says it's important to learn shibari. It's not important, but it's like super helpful. But if you wanted to restrain someone, it doesn't take any knowledge or any practice. Like literally, if you just buy like handcuffs, you open them, you put them around one wrist, and you put them around the other. Like you could do that without any knowledge, any experience, anything, and the girl is going to think, "Wow, this guy knows what he's doing. He's so good. Holy shit, this feel like such a submissive girl." And again, like it doesn't really require much. So you just need to learn the basics, and you'll be good.
Bottom line, like the standard is so low.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys have issues, especially inexperienced guys. Like, what does it look like to lead in the bedroom? Like, what does it look like? What is he supposed to do during, maybe the first 30 minutes of the sexual experience? He walks into the apartment. They just got done with a dinner date or a coffee date or whatever it is. Like, what does it look like for this guy? He doesn't have to do anything crazy, but what does it look like?
Yeah, I think it just starts with leading. Like when I see Alex constantly bringing like girl after girl back to the apartment, I always hear him say like, "Hey, just take off your shoes, right? Take off your shoes, sit them here." It's like it seems so tiny, but just that leading is where it starts, because you can't be a pussy the entire fucking date, have the girl control everything, and then suddenly get back and be like, "Oh, I need to take charge now." It's going to feel so incongruent. You just need to lead through the entire day. Tell her where to sit. Tell her where to sit her shoes. When you're in there, you can have a glass of wine, and then usually I like to just have a massage. I think all of us still are doing this, but have the massage route as the escalation. So telling you like, "Okay, it's massage time. Take your top off, lay down." It's like the easiest way, just leading. I mean, that can move forward into having some dirty talk and controlling her a little bit more physically. But I think from the beginning, just lead, right? Just lead, even if it's non-sexually.
Or what if you lead hard? You're doing everything fucking well. You pull down your pants and you got a small micro penis, and she starts making fun of you. All right, she starts degrading you. What do you do now?
I think it's important that like most girls are never going to do this, so you probably don't have to worry about it.
Well, I think you need to worry about this if you have a small dick.
I think like honestly, like
ready
I wouldn't be pulling it out until the girls had an incredible experience. So what I mean by that is like find out what a kinks are, and then give her the massage or have the dominance experience, go down on her, give her multiple orgasms, have toys, things like that. So once she's got to the point where, again, lesbian sex, where she's like, "Holy fuck, this was absolutely incredible," like then yeah, go for it, right? Then you can move into penetration, and maybe she doesn't have the best time during penetration, and it's like, it's fine, she's already enjoyed herself, so you don't have to worry.
Yeah, sure.
Would you add anything to that, Alex Swift?
I think that sounds one point.
Alex, what does it look like after your Tinder dates? You bring the girl back.
Oof, that's a good fucking question. I mean, it's pretty fucking straight to it, because I set everything up like, before pulling. So it's basically like go inside, take shoes off. If I'm living in like Slota or something, they always want to see the fucking view, of course, because this is the most beautiful view of Warsaw you can ever get. And then it's basically whatever type of escalation I think is going to be best. I mean, if it's a Ukrainian girl, it's just like choking, or like it's always different. But I like to think about it like this. I want to pick the route that I think is going to be most appealing for her, really, and probably from all the information that I've gathered through our conversation, because we're not sitting there talking about the fucking weather. If you're not sexualizing on your dates, I don't know what you're doing. Like, I really don't know what you're doing. It's like you're like a car dealer, and throughout your entire meeting with your client, you don't talk about the car. Like, it's absolutely retarded. So if you're not doing that, that's the first thing you gotta do. From that information, I think it's very easy to deduce which route she's gonna like the most. If she's type of girl, she says, I like it rough, dominant, aggressive, boom, then I'm probably gonna go with something like that. If she's like, oh, I don't know, I get nervous, I need to get out of my head, okay, then it's massage or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we've lived together for years, and I rarely get to see the girl for longer than 2 seconds before you're going straight to the bedroom, right? You're in, hey, take the shoes off. This is where I live. And I go, hello. And boom, you're pulling the girl straight to the bedroom. But also, I think a lot of guys make this mistake. Sometimes I hear you guys talk in the bedroom, and it's kind of low tone. It's kind of sexy. You slow things down, maybe a little bit of dirty talk, but it's never like, oh, we're just having a sort of platonic, normal conversation like this. You like really, you could hear it from outside the bedroom that you're setting the tone, right? Mm-hmm. And we've heard from like students and other people. They go to the bedroom and they're like having this very platonic, upbeat conversation, and it's hard to kind of set the vibe, set the mood right.
Basically, because they're fucking nice guying it.
Scared, right?
Well, they're fucking nice guying it. Yeah, I mean, it's really that simple. That's also why they can't build sexual tension on dates, etc. It's one of the big reasons, at least.
Mm.
Yeah, I think as soon as you get in the house, one thing I like to have guys do is just come up with an excuse why you need to bring the mood down. Like, especially we see students, like, they come into the place and they're like still fucking this energy. It's like, yo, when you get back to your place, all right, have the lights turned down a little bit. If you're playing music, keep it soft, all right? Don't be having it fucking blaring. And then if the girl's loud, just tell her, like, hey, shh, like, we got like some crazy neighbors, okay? Like, you just can't be too loud. Or if you live with a housemate, whatever, at least I got a housemate. And just like that in itself will just help to bring it down. Because if you're speaking loud, the lights are fucking really bright, you're blaring music, like, you're just never gonna have a sexual mood. Yeah.
Well, I think it's actually really good to think about, like, what are the things you need to do before, so that when you get home, it's actually like easy. If you're having this platonic ass fucking conversation in your initial interaction, well, then you're essentially going to have to fill every missing part that you didn't do in the initial interaction. You have to do that at home. So, like, there's no way you're going to skip the sexualization. It is absolutely impossible to fuck a girl without sexualization. And when I say sexualization, I don't mean verbal. I mean sexualization in general. How the fuck are you ever going to do that without having any type of tension whatsoever? So, it really does you no favor to, like, try to do that at home and not try to do it in the initial interaction.
Well, what would your advice be to someone who's just now getting some dates? They don't really know how to sexualize. They've never pulled from dates, but the date usually ends with, all right, nice to see you, goodbye. It's not sexualized, that kind of thing. They want to start sexualizing a little bit, or at least they want to pull the girl back under some sort of sexual frame so they can escalate. So, like, for a beginner, what would your advice be?
Well, I would say, first of all, you need to learn how to build tension, because I would say even the verbal stuff with the wrong subcom is going to be fucking useless. It's going to be absolutely useless. Sometimes you can ask like very innocent questions, like, last relationship, and then you can, like, segue into something sexual. But even if you do that if you sound like she's having a conversation with her gay friend, or like with her female friend or something, then she's still not gonna attribute any sexual value or anything to you in that way. So you really do need to get the subcoms down, like, from the very beginning. But you know what I think? I think a lot of guys who have issues sexualizing is really because they are playing it too safe and they're really scared of losing the girl. So what's going to happen is they're not just going to wake up one day and be like, okay, I'm going to sexualize, and now, you know, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be, they're going to get rejected by so many girls because they're not doing this. And they're going to reach a tipping point where they're so fucking annoyed, where they're just like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to go like all out. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And that's maybe when they start doing it. But I don't believe in like trying to like gradually like bring it in. Like, I just don't see that. It's always like they reach a fucking tipping point where they're just like so sick of you know, getting like basically friend zone or like rejected or whatever, because the girl doesn't feel the spark. No, by the way, when they say I don't feel the spark, that is, if you translate that into our terms, there would be like, I didn't feel any sexual tension. Is literally what they're saying. So you know, it's really going to come down to because actually they value not getting rejected by the girl over fucking her, and that's the problem. So
yeah, they're not in the mood. Yeah, they're not in the mood.
Yeah,
they're not what, right?
Exactly.
Well,
it's really simple.
Okay, this guy asked like how to pull back to her place.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
Well, I mean, you want to give
one.
some like what would it look like? Like a motherfucker's having a platonic conversation usually at the beginning. At what point do you start to sexualize the interaction? And is there one specific thing that beginners can start doing to at least try? Like, it's not gonna be perfect, but
well, yeah, okay, and I understand. Well, I think the first problem is even starting off with a platonic conversation. I think it should be man to woman from the first second, really. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but girls, they decide what type of guy you are, I swear to fucking God, within the first seconds or the first minutes. So if you're being platonic in the beginning, they're gonna put you in that box. You can't be like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, we're gonna have a drink, and then now I'm gonna be man. No, you have to be that from the first second. That is like the biggest thing that I've learned, like when it comes to this. You should never start off platonic. You should never start. And I'm not saying that you should start off like ultra sexual. No, but it should start off with the dynamic. Like, I'm a man, you're a woman. And you can accomplish a lot of that with just like subcom. So it's like having like pretty close proximity. You're on a fucking date, bro. You can have pretty close proximity. You can have eye contact. You just can't look at her and talk to her in the way as if she was your fucking grandmother. That's a pretty good like litmus test. You ask yourself, like, could I have this conversation or this dynamic with my sister or with my like grandmother or something? If the answer is even close to yes, then
yeah, a lot of guys are going to be sitting down on their date thinking about, okay, when should I sexualize? How should I sexualize? And it's like 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in. And then at some point they're like, oh, fuck it, it's too late, right? It's too fucking late. I think, and tell me what you think, I think the moment you see the girl on the date, so if it's a dinner date, if you're meeting up with her, wherever, give her a compliment, like on her body or what she's wearing or how hot she looks, right? I think it's the easiest fucking thing, right? Like, if she comes over and I open the door, I'm going to take her hand, like kind of spin around, look at her booty and be like, God damn, you look better in person. You know, if it's a dinner date, fuck, this is not, this is not good. And the girl like grins a little bit, really? I'm like, oh, fuck, this is not good. Get the fuck out of here. Like, go back home. I can't handle this. This is too much, Or like you're on a dinner date. I think that's a good way to at least break away or at least not get into that, platonic vibe from the start.
Yeah,
because you're going to open her up a little bit from the open if you open her with this, right?
Yeah. No, I think
you did that very well. Like, I got a sneak peek, into some of your new Infield day game Infield. That's going to be released in the Mastermind, and you do a very good job of that, right? Going up, pulling for the insta-date and pulling from the date, and also like lowering the tone throughout the interaction. It was sexualized, let's say, it's man to woman, I should say, from the beginning. And there's this gradual kind of lowering the tone and setting that vibe throughout the interaction, so that when you get towards the end and go for the pull, she's kind of turned on and she's relaxed. She's ready to be pulled. Instead of this abrupt, like, hey, we're having an upbeat platonic conversation for 30 minutes, and abruptly I'm going to try to sexualize like this. Like, it's going to fucking feel weird, right?
Absolutely, it's going to be really fucking weird. Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of it is that you just can't be scared. I think that's such a big thing. You just can't be scared of being like non-platonic.
All right, what's your like a line to pull her back? You're on a date, Tinder date, let's say.
It's very simple.
It's a day game approach.
It's very simple. We're going to my place now.
Nope. That's literally that's exactly what you said in all your Infield pulls that I saw.
That's all you gotta do.
Let's go back. We're gonna have a drink, or hey, let's go back. I'm gonna give you a booty massage. You did one date, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've done it a lot of times. Fucking done it. Like, fuck. Well, actually, you were the one to do those first. But when since I started doing it, I've probably done like I must have done over 400 or 500 at this point.
Mm.
Like really, which is actually fucking crazy. It's actually crazy.
It makes when I started doing the booty massage pool or escalation, my lays went up like crazy.
Yeah,
it went up like crazy. I did it. I remember in 2015 and 16, every single lay.
Yeah,
I gave a booty massage, or I closed on. I'm gonna give you a booty massage.
You know, I remember in 2019. I think that's when I started doing them actually. In 2019 alone, because this is when I was tracking. I haven't been really tracking otherwise. It was like 160 girls in 6 months or something. 165 maybe, or something like that in 6 months. And I think honestly, like 80 to 85% of them was like booty massage.
And it's great because you know, it's a great way to escalate.
Absolutely.
You know, get her fucking turned on, get her wet.
Absolutely. Like, you will be shocked. Like, you know, maybe it's a little bit off topic, but I've noticed that like just from my experiences talking to girls, it actually seems like because guys are much more scared of losing the hotter girls, that they take much less risk with them, and they play it much more safe and just give them worse experiences in that way. So just for what I've noticed from talking, like the girls who you would classify as like a 9 or a 10, guys are so scared with them that they experience the most like vanilla shit. So like anything you pull out, they're like blown away. Whereas like the girl who's like, if she's like a 7.5 or an 8 or something, guys, you know, I don't know, like maybe they take more risk. Maybe these girls are more open in some way. I don't know.
What's a crazy story or one of the riskiest? I mean, I have a few in mind, but
I'm not gonna talk about that.
All right, maybe don't talk about those. But
no.
What about the crystal incense girl?
No, I'm joking. I don't have any like risk escalations, because what do you do? Like, you get the girl to agree to sex every time before you pull. Yeah, and I think that's important too, because the girl needs to know what's up. That's why I have to be honest. Like, I don't think any escalation should really be risky, because it should always be calculated and like thought through, and like you're making sure that she's comfortable, like all this stuff. But did you have a like? How do you say it? Did you have any like? Maybe you're thinking it's the other way.
Well, I'm thinking about you aligning this spiritual girl's chakras. I think we bought candles, incense,
more creative.
I think I gave you some of my my crystals or some shit. And you aligned her sexual chakras and gave her some sort of chakra aligning massage or something.
Yeah, bro. This was a girl from the gym in Mexico, actually. Yeah, I fucking love the gym in Mexico, because that's where you find the hottest fucking girls. Holy shit! Do you remember like the Argentinian like OnlyFans girl?
The tattoos.
Yeah,
she was fucking up,
bro. Yeah, those also from the fucking gym. Like, I think like 80% of my pulls just came from the gym there. Like, what's it called? Like Evolve Fitness or something. Evolve Fitness in like Tulum, Playa del Carmen.
Don't tell them this.
Yeah, best place to game. Best place to game, guys. That's fucking where to go. Yeah, like aligning her sacral chakra. That's what it was. She had sexual blockages from her sacral chakra. So I had to open that up. And like, you know, like I'm not a fucking yogi or something, but from her end, it was she fucking got she got the full experience. So to
She
her,
was
I was a
hoping to
fucking
say.
yogi. Yeah.
Bro, did she like write you a message like months later?
Dude.
Thank you, for aligning my chakras. I feel
Well, the
better
thing
now.
was like I was too busy just like being out fucking gaming other girls. So like
you went on a
yeah,
fucking
like
streak.
yeah. So like I didn't have time to meet up again.
Bro, I
Well, I had time,
I barely saw you during this fucking time.
Yeah, it was just nonstop gaming.
I wake up and Alex is with the girl. I wake
Yeah.
up,
But I've had
go
a
to bed,
similar
he's with
experience.
another girl. No.
I've had a similar experiences now in Barcelona, I'd say. I have to be at like 20 girls now.
Yeah,
To
that's
20 to maybe to like 20, 21, 22 or something. Like I'm not counting, but that would be my estimate because the average is definitely like 1 per day. Sometimes it's 2. So
and look, pretty
Yeah.
soon, guys in the mastermind will be able to read those field reports and lay reports and audio Infield. So
I have a lot of that actually. I have a lot of that.
every day it's going to
Yeah.
be in the mastermind. Day 1 to day 300. Every lay, some of the approaches, number closes in the mastermind. It's
We'll
amazing.
See. Yeah. We'll see if every day.
Every secret and every fucking detail.
Because okay, well, let me just put this into perspective for you guys.
Yes.
I'm just gonna put this into perspective. For me, this is such a regular thing. This is like me going to take a piss. If I go out and I pull a girl, it literally feels like I'm going to take a piss. Like it's like I don't write like a piss report to my parents every time I go to take a piss. You know what I mean? So for me, it just feels like to me such a regular thing. But also like I understand when I think I have to catch myself because I'm deluded. Like I'm delusional, guys. I'm fucked. So like for me, it's nothing. For other guys, they're like, for them, it's something. For them, what I think that they will not find or derive value from, if I actually show it to them, they're like, oh, fuck, like this was really cool. I like how you reframed this. I'm like, yo, like this was, it's basic shit to me.
Other
coaches are like asking, like, how the fuck are you doing this?
Well, that's actually happening all the time. Well, I think well, actually, I think that's a good thing. I think that's a very good thing. I think if you're a coach and you don't believe in the power of getting coaching from someone that's better than you, you're a fucking fraud. Straight up. So I think that's actually a good thing. I think it's a really good thing when they do. And I really respect it. Like, I honestly really do respect it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck. I was going to somehow tie in small dicks into this. As a yogi,
to my pulls. Well, actually, that should be a challenge, right? I should just pull with like, yo, I have a small dick, but I'm really.
Do you don't have do you have any small dick? Look, I'm not. You don't have a small dick, obviously, but like, do you have any small dick routines you could use for the guys?
Well, just for fun. Like I've actually done this before. Like just for fun, just to like challenge myself. I've told the girls like, yo, like I'm a virgin because I have a really small dick. So I haven't been able to like fuck anyone, but I got really good at pussy eating, like just for fun, like just for trolling, and just see if like can I pull this off? And yeah, I have.
Bro, I'm gonna try that. Actually, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some Tinder. I'm gonna get some Tinder dates after telling the girls I got a micro penis or something.
We have to do it the right way. You have to first of all, you're very confident, you're very dominant, you're very smooth, all of this. But then the only downside, the only twist that you have a small dick. But pussy eating skills are like fucking off the charts.
I had in the UMP group chat, we had a little challenge. Which guy can get a date or a close after telling the girls a number of things? So like micro penis, I'm gay, but I want to explore.
That would be easy.
I'm a serial killer. All of these things, like everything that's DLV or that should disqualify you. Yeah. You know what? The number one thing was the hardest thing to kind of get over. There's one single thing, like serial killer and fucking all these other things. Like whatever.
It's probably the virgin thing.
Nah, it's the micro penis.
Okay.
No, wait.
Okay,
No,
well,
hold
actually,
on.
it makes
Wait. No.
no?
Actually, no. That's wrong.
No?
That's wrong. It was
Okay.
actually being a virgin. That was the most
Okay.
difficult thing. Like the guys had to stop using the whole virgin thing. The micro penis plus like great at eating pussy. The girls were all
Yeah.
right. You know, I get some good pussy eating out of this.
But what if you do like a reversed, like a DHV in the reverse, like a negative DHV, like, you know, you tell the girl you have a micro penis, but then you tell her it's like 6 inches in girth and like whatever.
Yeah.
You like you know, DHV in the negative, so you can get away with it easier, kind of thing.
That's funny. I think the serial killer thing would be interesting. I think that'd work too well. I think we'd start having guys.
I pulled in from Night Game in Budapest when me and Alex were gaming before the.
Dude, I remember,
RFP.
I've heard you run this more than that. I remember in
Mhm.
Sydney, the first time we were in Sydney together, you were running it. I think girls were asking, "What are you doing in Sydney?" And you're like, "We're celebrating. I just got out." And they're like, "Out of what? You're in prison."
I've done that.
The fucked up thing is
So funny.
they don't care.
No,
They're not
you
like
didn't
like
see
oh
things,
you know
it's
hey it was
crazy.
like it was nice meeting you, goodbye. Nothing like they weren't reacting very strongly to it. It's insane.
You weren't getting like safety concern, right? Like guys are always so
None.
worried. Oh, I need to give her my passport and tell her. It's like you were saying you got out of prison, and then that asked why. And I remember you said something like you were implying you were protecting someone, but like
My
you killed
girlfriend, yeah,
exactly. But you were implying like you killed this guy, and
Yeah,
it's like it's
yeah,
crazy.
we were at
a
we were out at a bar, and this big motherfucker kept looking at my fucking girl, and at some point I was like, yo, this is fucking disrespectful. Okay, so in my girl's honor, I came over there, hit him over the head with a fucking bottle. Okay, I told him to stay fucking down. He got back up. I got one of the sharp edges, got him right in the fucking throat, blood everywhere. I went to jail. It was like manslaughter, whatever. I got out. It was, that was like 10 to 15 years ago. Good behavior. But whatever.
I don't think they didn't care. I think, in fact, it probably helped you build attraction.
I think so.
Because it's not a fucking secret that they're attracted to everything like Dark Triad.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just what it is.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
So if anything, you have survival value.
No, bro, my main girl thinks I'm an absolute fucking psychopath.
Yeah. Well, see, this is the side of like psychology that is never going to be talked about in the mainstream. It's just never going to. It's just never going to, because there's going to be too much backlash. But
all right. Well, hey, you know what, Alex? How do you develop these dark triads traits? Like step by step for the guys out there who wants to become a psychopath. What do you think?
Okay, that's a very good. Well, that's a very good question. I mean, first of all, I think you should actually develop the dark triad traits, but like from a good place, right? Because really, like, if you think about it, a big part of it is just that they're actually just being smart. Really, when you think about it, so it's about understanding people's needs and people's wants and desires, and being able to frame everything that is in their interest. I think that's a big part of it. But you don't have to be a bad person to do this, because if you're actually giving them something good, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you become a psychopath, Swift? What were your steps?
How? Yeah, that was definitely developed. I don't think I was always. Look, I'm not a psychopath. I have a lot of empathy. Actually, I'm very empathetic, I would say.
I would say psychopaths are some of the most empathetic people, though.
Yeah, you think so?
I think that's the thing. But I think you're talking about sympathy. Like, you actually feel for other people. Empathy is like when you have the logical understanding of what someone else is thinking and feeling, so you can calibrate to it. So I think it's sympathy you have. You have empathy too, of course, because you're very good at reading people. Yeah.
No, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I'm a psychopath?
No, I'm just trolling. But
No,
I think you have a very good understanding of people, which is a psychopathic trait.
Yeah.
But as Alex said, like, I think you want some of the good aspects of psychopaths, right? Like that narcissism. Like, you want the confidence in that, you want the dominance in that, you want the ability to lead in that. yeah, and like obviously like being calm under pressure. Like there's some things in you having there that are like incredibly attractive that you want to keep. There's actually I read a book that's really cool, and it was talking about like the positive traits of psychopaths, and it was saying that how a lot of surgeons, psychopaths, a lot of really great pilots are psychopaths, and they were saying like there's this idea that psychopath is always bad, but this guy was actually saying that it's an evolution. He was saying that people have evolved into psychopaths, and it's actually a good thing in society, and that these people have a lot of positive traits. It was an interesting book. I'll try to find the name of it if I can.
You know what I think is a good thing about them is that they have a really big ego about succeeding. So like their ego is on the line if they fuck up this surgery. You know what I mean? I think that's a big part of it. Like they keep themselves to such a high standard because they have such a big ego on it. Well, I think that's actually a good point, because the bad thing with narcissism is that usually it's based on insecurity and fragile ego. So if you can develop all of those traits without the insecurity and without the ego fragility and being able to take responsibility and these type of things, it is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
No, amazing.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a question when I find this book?
Okay.
Let's go with
Which one do you want to answer?
let's see, guys. I have a small neck. How to pull back to replace. Uni student in Australia, but when I visit my folks back in Kenya, I can't pull girls back to mine, even though I am 20. Any solution?
Well, why can't you? Because you're staying at your parents' place.
Right.
Fuck, this is the most common question we get, I think.
We do get this a lot, yeah.
Yeah, this is a very common question.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to find girls who have their own place, or, I mean, it sounds like you can't pull back to your parents' place, which is understandable. I mean, look, you could fuck in the car if you want to, or you could find. Look, I remember looking for older women who had their own apartment at one point when I was younger, when I was living with my parents. So like I had to screen out women who, you know, lived with their family or whatever, and women who had their own home or had their own apartment.
Or just fucking pull her back to Australia. She'll probably be happy.
Pull her back to Australia.
Yeah, true.
Oh, bro, this is a good one. How to game at a wedding in India. Indian wedding game.
Where's this? Ah,
Just
okay, all right, yeah. Wow, that's
Have you guys been to an Indian wedding before? I've never actually.
No, I really want to
I
go.
would love to go, man. They look so fun.
they
Can you
look
imagine
wild.
pulling like one of the girls? Like all the Indian dudes just fucking going crazy. Egos hurt.
Yeah, that's it. That's what would happen. Holy shit!
Be a fun wedding.
I hope to get at a
Apparently,
wedding.
like all the guys need to like jump up into a dance and shit. I'd be all over that. That'd be cool. All right, yeah. So we answered the question about fucking in the car, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to an Indian wedding, so hard to say. Hey, I have a thinner voice, like 106. Yeah, did you measure this? 150, 160 hertz, and it gets even higher when I speak loud. Is it because I have a thin neck? It's supposed to... Well, it could be. Well, I mean, that could be a factor, of course. Absolutely could be. I mean, my voice got deeper when my body weight went up, and when my traps got more developed. That's for sure. It's possible to lower it. Yeah, I mean, look, you can still learn how to control your voice better. Absolutely. I mean, because you can speak louder without having your tone rise. Chinese people do this all the time. Yeah. You know, Chinese people, their entire language is based on like tones. If it's rising, up, down, flat, whatever, they can yell any word in any tone. So it just comes down to mastering tonality. If Chinese people can yell with their and doing like a word with a falling tone, you can do it too. This is why I don't believe in this, because Chinese people do this all the fucking time. It's literally like the main aspect of their language. So
well, he wants a deeper voice, and
yeah,
I mean, you got to get your testosterone checked first of all.
Well, that's the thing for sure.
Like
That
we
is
know
the
this
thing.
when our T is up, our voice is deeper. T is down.
Yeah.
You got the
Smoke a lot
intervals,
of
right?
cigarettes. Smoke a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah, you can smoke a lot of cigarettes. Go get
Yeah.
your T checked.
Apparently increases your T as well. Smoke cigarettes. Believe it or not.
What about Mark? You got a very deep, sexy voice. How did you do it?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, I mean, you're gonna have a range, right? So everyone's got a range to their voice. So you're not gonna go from someone that's like 150, 160 down to like 80 or some shit like that, right? So you do have a range of your voice. As Alex said, you want to just start hitting that lower range of your voice a little bit more. You'll find that you go higher when you're a little bit nervous, when you're excited, and when you're not taking a big enough breath, right? You want to have a full voice, because the fuller it is and the louder it is, it's actually going to sound more powerful, and it's going to sound a little bit lower as well. So yes, you can work on having it a little bit lower, but just make sure that you're not hitting the higher range too often, because that's where the real problem comes in. Like 90% of guys' voices are fine. It's just when they get in front of a girl and the tone is like, "Oh, my name's Marcus," and it like goes up, and you just sound like you're asking a question the whole time. So, take big breaths, speak slow, speak loud, make an effort to lower it a little bit, get your T checked, and if you do that, honestly, you'll be fine. You don't need to have like a super deep voice.
No. Exactly, like your voice doesn't have to be that deep, but you don't let your fucking tone raise for no reason.
How important is a deeper voice, do you think?
Well,
I think if you have a really high pitched voice, it's probably everything. Like it's going to be really hard to pull if you sound like some
like fucking Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse,
Yeah.
Californian.
Yeah,
Mickey
Mouse
with
with fucking micro penis.
If you just have like an average voice or it's a little bit high, it doesn't matter, right?
Nah.
It doesn't matter.
It's totally
And
fine.
obviously, like the deeper it is, you'll get girls commenting on it. You'll get girls thinking you're a little bit more dominant, assertive, and confident. But it's the same thing. Like, how important is a six pack? If you got an average body, like that's fine. If you have a six pack, it's like that's great. It's going to help. But I wouldn't be sitting here being like, I'm going to spend the next year dedicated to making sure I have a six pack. If you're just like an average looking dude, so I think it's important, but it just depends on what end of the spectrum you're at.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, look, my voice got deeper from increasing my T, getting more sleep, eating red meat, going to the gym. One or 2 weeks of that, my voice got deeper already. Eat red meat. Eat a kilogram of fucking steak a day. Go lift. Go start some fucking fights.
Start some shit.
I guarantee you. I guarantee if you start some street fights, your voice will get deeper naturally. All right. So what is it? So you doing a day game session? Yeah, let's get 1 or 2 street fights in.
Yeah,
just between approaches.
Yeah, maybe like just do like a maybe 4 or 5 months, 4 or 5 months in prison. If you get yourself a nice prison sentence, you're probably gonna deepen your voice there. So yeah, get in fights, go to prison, stay 6 months, and let us know. Let us know how you went.
Yeah, absolutely. But look, hey, don't get away. Stay away from the vaccines. Like the vaccines are going to lower your testosterone. Like
vaccines are fine. There's definitely no evidence of vaccines. Your voice, Jesus.
Some studies show it lowers your T.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
it's a lot of metals. You know, it's high in metals, right? High in metals. These vaccines. Which it really affects your verbals.
Swift, actually, sorry. Just if you just want to move away from the mic a little bit, it's made of metal. Yeah, just be careful. There's a needle in that mic. Yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't taken any boosters or vaccines, so my voice is pretty deep. It can affect the microphone. I think the vaccine made my voice deeper. Actually, I think that's what happened.
I remember your voice being pretty deep before the boosters. So.
That was from the other vaccines.
Exactly. It's the vaccines you got when you were 2 years old. Your vaccine was just tests. Let's be real. When you were a baby.
We're gonna find out there was a Australian testosterone CIA experiment, and Mark actually was getting testosterone instead of the vaccine.
I mean, that would be good for society, probably.
That would
Out
be
of,
hilarious, bro.
actually, out of curiosity, why does the booty massage routine work? Heard in a couple of your videos. Well, I think it's good because you're starting with something like that's very low compliance and that's something that doesn't feel like, let's say, high pressure to her. And it's a gradual progression where essentially you're building it up and you're turning her on. I think that's like a really big part of it. And also like basically the booty massage is it's foreplay. It's really what it is. So that's why you will notice, like, if you do this, the girls are always gonna have a good time because
and
you
look,
spend a good time foreplay. Yeah.
like imagine one of your gym girls who does her squats every fucking day. They have a great ass. They've worked really hard on their ass. They're gonna want to show off their booty, right? Like, I want you to look at my booty. I want you to touch my booty. It's validation for the booty, right? So like Latinas or girls that work really hard on the ass, I could tell when they, it's a lot of work. So when I compliment on the booty, like, God damn, you do your fucking squats, don't you? And they're like, oh my God, you notice? Yes, of course I do. So it's a lot of validation for all the work they put into their booty.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I think it's just, if we think about the spectrum of comparing how high a pressure certain escalation is compared to the payoff of how turned on it makes the girl, I think it's like the perfect balance here. Because something like making out is really high pressure. Yeah, it's like the girl's like, okay, this is definitely an escalation. He's definitely wanting something here. This can feel very intimate. And like, it doesn't get us super tight. Like, I've never really heard a girl say like, oh my God, he made out with me so well I came, or some shit, right? Like, some guys might be really good at making out, but usually it's just like a make out, right? And then there's, other things like you could eat a pussy is like really high pleasure, but it's again really high pressure. Whereas something like the booty massage or just like massaging her, completely low pressure. Okay, she can be relaxed. She doesn't have to be like worrying about too much in her head. It gets her into her body, and it just feels really good. It builds up a lot of intense kind of like pleasure emotions within her. So now you have a situation where a girl's relaxed, calm, but also super turned on without feeling any pressure. And so for me, it's like a really nice way to transition and something more sexual.
Yeah, I think that's a fucking great answer. For me, I'm a technical game nerd. Like from the first day, I'm technical game nerd. I break everything into steps and systems. I'm very logical. I'm like I'm basically like an engineer. I'm an engineer who, yeah, whatever.
Pussy engineer, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I think it's really good from the framework of compliance. I think this one is really, really good because you start off with something really, really big and you very gradually build it up. That's why I think it's really, really good. And I think it's really hard to fuck up. That's also, like, I think it's really hard to fuck up, and I think it's basically impossible to miscalibrate. So that's why if I had to recommend like an escalation method, this would be it. I think this is one that is best to recommend to students. And also, I think in very few circumstances do you ever have a good reason to go another route, because it immediately just becomes more risky, unless you have some very particular info about this girl that she likes in another way. Yeah. Like, I just really wouldn't recommend anything else. For all intents and purposes, this is the perfect way, in my opinion. And also, like, I think it's really good also because sometimes on dates, I like to give like a preview. Even just from like touching her shoulder, and she can feel the way my touch is. So I think I can demonstrate in a lot of ways that whatever physicality that I bring later on will be good. So I have a lot of girls comment on this. They like the fact that I can be firm, but not too much, because guys, they don't know how to control their force or how to control their strength. So that's one thing, for example. So, I mean, you think about it logically, how the fuck is a girl going to be okay with you like choking her if she doesn't even know that you can like control your strength? They're going to be like word as fuck. So, if you're talking about all this stuff, like you're doing the sexual DHVs and stuff, I think it's important to actually demonstrate that your physicality will be good.
All right, next one.
Yeah.
Are there any differences in the way Mark, Alex, and Swift game?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
difference.
there has to be, especially because we spent like time, let's say, apart for a bit.
Yeah, we're different people,
Yeah,
different
different human beings. Yes, yeah,
I feel like we're one, but we're also, slightly
Yeah.
different and unique in our own ways.
exactly. I think we're united in our differences.
Well, let's go with this.
I'm far superior. I think my game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a
Okay.
bit more sophisticated.
I think like if this is the way I'd explain it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same principles and rules. They're just applied a little bit differently. So, for example, we could take something like sexual authority, right? So, building up the idea of sexual value and showing the girl that we understand her sexually and that we are competent sexually and that we can get her turned on sexually. And like that's a big part of our game. So we all make that somewhat of a focus, but the way it's displayed and acted through and demonstrated is going to be different between us. So like for me, it might be more of a focus on dominance and like, for example, Shibari, someone mentioned that before, like tying up. For Swift, it might be something along more lines of like pussy eating. Then for Alex, it could be a mix of those, or it could be like something more sensual, or whatever it might be. So it's like the principles are always going to be the same, but the application is going to be a bit different. Like I'm a little bit more sarcastic. Alex is probably a little bit more serious. Swift probably builds more emotion. So yeah, it's slightly different, I would say.
Yeah. That's a really good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it.
Alex,
But
how
we're
would
all doing
you
the same
how
thing,
would you
really.
break down if you had to compare your game to Mark's game? Like, what would be the differences or similarities, or the biggest differences?
Oof. That's a really good question. I would say, tell me how you see it from your perspective too. I think earlier on, I'm very focused on, how do you say it? I know he does this too, but I think we just do it in different ways. So I think very early on, we're both very focused on displaying like social dominance. I think that is like the number one thing that we both try to do early on, because let's be real, it's the biggest attraction trigger, and it's the one that you could most easily get away with early. So for example, Mark will do it through dominating a group set of like 15 people, right? I will do it by building a lot of tension with the girl really early. So I think that's maybe one way we do it differently. But then also like I will get into doing like the group set shit later, and I will like befriend all the friends and everything, win them over, they like me, all this shit. And then Mark, he will also get in, after he probably starts with the group, and then like basically like goes to girl and also builds a fuck ton of tension.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you probably have a lot more initial attraction. Like you going hard on the girl, like you're very strong subcomp, super direct. Like the girl can't help but like look at you at that point. Like, and their friends are kind of bewildered. Like, wow, this guy's like, as you said, just dominating. Whereas, I think for me, it's like I would try to go in and like maybe chat to her friends first, or like deal with that group first, because I probably don't have as much initial compliance as you. So yeah, I agree. It's probably like a big difference.
Yeah, I think that sounds accurate. Yeah.
I mean, Mark is more likely to go in and stir up a little bit of shit, like tease the girl, be a little bit more negative, maybe to grab her attention, to spike her emotions, probably because he knows that Alex is going to have a lot more initial compliance and initial attraction when he walks in. So he could kind of, I don't want to call it playing it safe, but he could kind of walk in and have a normal sort of strong open, go eye to eye, build tension at the beginning, just you kind of build off of that. But Mark, and me, we have to actually spike emotions and grab their attention through emotions, DHVs.
Yeah, I think we have to spike emotions in different ways, because when I'm going in and I'm building a lot of tension early on, there's definitely spiking emotions in the girl, because there's a strong emotional reaction to it. But I think it's done different ways. I can build, let's say, I can spike a lot of emotions through tension early on, because, as you said, I get more early compliance. But you just have to do it in other ways. But at the end of the day, we're all doing the same shit. It's the same principles, everything. It's just applied differently.
Well, I will say, I have something to say here, Alex. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. but it's true. Okay.
Yeah.
You might not like that I'm saying this, but I'm going to say it
Yes.
anyway.
Yes.
In about 12 months, all right, we're going to be getting more initial compliance than you, okay?
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
I'm going to be
Oh
shredded.
shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
Swift is losing
shit.
another, I don't know how many pounds, all right? I'm getting
He's gonna be shredded.
Listen,
He's gonna be the most shredded, bro.
I'm gonna be walking through the club with you, all right? And everyone's gonna turn around and be like, damn, who's that? Who is that guy? Wow. And his friend's pretty good looking too, and they're gonna be talking about Swift, all right? And you know what? We're gonna go in and we're gonna get more initial compliance, all right? So you be careful.
By the way, Mark is not
waiting for this.
joking.
I would love for this to happen. I would absolutely love for this to happen. I would love for this to happen.
Yeah, you sure about that?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
You're used, the past couple of years, you're used to getting a little bit, a few more IYs.
No,
it's like who's that guy over there? Who's the tall tattoo guy?
Hey, Marcus, who's your friend?
I think the better look in my wings are. I think the better look in my wings are the better. Straight up, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. I want to win with fucking shads.
Listen. I hope you're okay with us getting, the hotter one, right? You take in, whatever's left over.
You fucking take him. It's time for a change. You take him, bro. It's time for a change.
It's about fucking time.
Yeah. All right. That's a good question. Okay. I didn't even read this, but
yesterday I approached a girl loud. Asked her directions. The other two girls looked around and heard our conversation / my game. It made me feel uncomfortable that others can see and hear me approaching. I had this old fear that girls or people will negatively judge me for approaching, or they give me ugly, disgusted looks, thinking I'm a player or a creep.
First of all, being a player is an attractive thing. That's a good thing. So get that out of your head. That's a very good thing. You want to be seen as that. You want to be seen as a player, but who's still respectful and not a complete fucking douchebag. That's what you want. You want them to think you're a player. Well, this entire mindset, it actually, of course, this is everyone's gonna think this at some point, but this entire mindset just comes from massive inexperience, honestly. Because if you have any reasonable experience doing this, you will know that the more you're seen as a player, it's a good thing up until an extreme point when it just makes the girl super insecure. Then it's gonna backfire. But up to any reasonable point, it's just gonna be really fucking good. And also, let's be honest, if you're an average dude and you see someone approaching a girl, you're not gonna be like, oh, he's a fucking creep. Maybe you will rationalize it that way, but deep down you're fucking jealous because you couldn't do what this guy just did. And other girls, deep down, they're also jealous because most girls don't get approached every day. They don't get approached. Most girls don't get approached often. That's just the reality. Even most hot girls, because guys are too scared. That's what I said earlier. It's actually the more, let's say, average girls that get more approached because guys are less scared to do it. And also, let's be real. It's only fucking beta males who are gonna judge you for talking to a girl. And why do you care about the opinion of people that you want to be the literal opposite of?
Yeah, exactly. Now, I had a situation yesterday. Actually, a girl asked me, do you have a girlfriend? Are you here with a girl or something? And I said, oh, I have many girlfriends actually. And she's like, you have many girlfriends? What do you mean many girlfriends? I'm like, yeah, I've got 8. And I started naming where these girls are. So I brought one here, I have one here, I have one here, I have one here. And she looked at me, she's like, what the fuck, really? And she started to slightly give me some shit for it. Right? Oh, you're a fucking player. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a fuckboy. So I just looked at her, and then all of a sudden she switched over from all right, I'm going to give this guy so much fucking shit and tell him how this is so horrible and so fucking bad. And immediately her eyes changed. She got horny eyes, and then she started getting physical with me, right away. So when I started to really own it is when everything started to shift in the interaction.
Yes. Well, that's such a good fucking point, because guys are scared to use pre-selection. Guys are really scared to use pre-selection because girls give them shit. Well, that's the thing. It's going to backfire on you if you bitch out. That's the thing.
Yep. But look, I took it even further than this. I gave reasons why. Look, I have a high fucking sex drive. I travel the world. So I'm adding DHVs about traveling the world year round.
You put this one girl in the hospital, so she understands that you need more.
Exactly. she's like, hey, look, I understand. Look, you need more women. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be in the hospital every fucking week.
And by the way, this is not made up. This actually happened. She actually fucking said this. Yeah.
She actually said this, and she was actually in the.
Yeah.
Well, she's gonna be watching this, but she was actually in the ER room. She called me at 3 a.m. saying, "David, I'm in the emergency room," and I'm like, "Holy shit! You got in a car accident? What the fuck happened? You just left like 30 minutes ago."
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're gonna love this, but I'm in a wheelchair too." And I said, "Oh my god, this is." I mean, it's not good that she's hurt. But I made a joke about when she comes over, I'm gonna put her in a wheelchair. She's like, "Oh yeah, okay, Daddy, put me in a wheelchair." But she thought it was pretty funny. She had to. I had to take care of her for a full week in my bed. I had to bring her the medicine and bring her food.
Yeah.
So and after that, she said, "David, I understand you need more women. Like I can't be in the hospital every fucking week. I get it now." So like, look, if you got a girlfriend, okay, and you want to, I don't know, have other women and her being okay with this, this is one trick, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But look, if you have a micro penis, forget about it.
And also, let's take this.
Hey, if you got a fucking micro, forget about it. You just little micro penis motherfuckers with your tiny. Okay,
bro.
Come on, Mark. Come on, degrade with me.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Nana Das. Okay.
Yeah, this is the same question, but the entire context is that like people are listening in to him asking for directions. Like, who's gonna judge you for asking directions? I mean, I hope you understand. Like, this sounds ridiculous at this point. Like, I understand this is an irrational fear.
No, this guy, listen, he probably supports Trump. Okay, listen, you need to look at the evidence objectively. Okay. You see two girls looking at you and you think they're thinking on weird and creepy and blah, blah, blah. All right. That's cool. But now you need to do some evidence gathering. Okay. You could even fucking go and approach those girls next and see how they react. Right. Or what I do with my students is when they always think people are like, oh, fuck, then I will go ask. Have a friend go, I'll be like, hey, what do you think of that? I saw you looking over. What did you think? The girl's like, oh, yeah, did he know that? Like every single time it's positive. Every single fucking time it's positive. What you want to do is shift your mindset. Realize that the more people that look, the more attractive it is, right? Confidence is just purely how comfortable you are under how much tension you're under. So the more comfortable you look, then the more confident you are. And the more tension there is, then the more confident you are. So if you approach and no one's looking, the girls that you're with might think, okay, this guy's got some balls. But if you approach and everyone can fucking hear you, like if you approach up on a stage with a microphone, you're like, yeah, look, I know you're about to give a talk, but I just have to say, damn, you're my type. All right. Everyone is going to think you're the most confident guy in the fucking world if you manage to do that. So if two girls are looking at you, if there's a fucking couple sitting over there, if there's a guy here, do it there, because now the girl's just going to think you're more confident. So don't be scared of it. Go for it. Do it. And just get the evidence. I guarantee it's going to be positive.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes the interaction easier because you get the confidence points.
And also the girls, bro, the girls can handle that pressure better than most guys. Yeah. Like you could approach a fucking girl on the street, everybody's watching. You're gonna feel a lot more pressure, even if you're used to that pressure, than the fucking girl. Like, don't worry about the girl feeling too much unless you're like some fucking, like stalkerish fucking, creepy dude. But you know what I mean?
Alleyway,
yeah, it's like a fucking dark alleyway, and you're holding, a knife or something. But
with common sense.
Yeah, exactly.
You got your fentanyl or some shit.
Yeah, and also you could do. I mean, look, you could change your mindset and be like, I want people to hear. Right. I want other girls, especially if you're in a club, I want other girls to hear my voice. Like the one thing with Mark is I know where he is in the club at all times. Like it doesn't matter where we are in the club. I hear Mark. I know what point of the interaction he's in. And also, most importantly, I know when he's about to get punched, right? Like,
oh yeah, you're gonna keep an eye on that because he's fucking provoking people like a motherfucker.
Do you know how many times I left an interaction that's going really fucking well, and I'm like, yo, I'm killing it right now, and I'm gonna pull this girl, and I go, I'm sorry, my friend's about to get punched, and I have to go over and stop a guy from swinging and hitting Mark in the back of the head.
The funny thing is that helps you with your girl. That just helps you with your girl. First of all, because you're walking away from the pool, drives her crazy. And then you're also, they get attracted by fighting. It's just what it is. I don't make the rules.
The good thing is, like, Mark has such a deep voice, and he's fucking loud, and he's unashamed. He wants people to hear.
Yeah. I mean, I like that too. Don't you like to have an audience to hear spit your fucking fire game? I love that.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
That's why Alex is doing.
I like it.
He wants the ultimate audience.
Well, exactly. Exactly. I'm just gonna run ads on it to like the people who least want to see it. I'm gonna.
True.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna run ads to Black Pill. I'm gonna find a way to fucking target Black Pill. Just to fucking trigger them. Do you guys prefer direct openers or indirect? I would say most of the time indirect.
Yeah, I prefer indirect. I mean, depends what you mean by prefer. Like, direct is more fun. Like, there is something fun about going up to a girl and just being like, hey, guys, just wait. I don't give a fuck. Listen, boom, and just give it a very, like, upfront open.
I think it's very effective.
They're more fun. But in terms of, like, what's more optimal, what's more effective, then I prefer having, like, direct subcoms and then indirect language. I think like exactly. That's the best way to go. So you get the best of both worlds, where you appear very confident, you get all those points, but yet she doesn't have to make a decision right then and there, and there's some plausible deniability.
Just to be clear, that's exactly what I mean also when I say indirect. It's never platonic. Even my indirect is more direct than most guys direct. Let's put it that way. That's for fun. Sure.
I like to get girls chasing in the interaction. So if I go indirect, kind of fly under the radar a little bit, and DHV a lot. I do a lot of fucking DHVing. So I go in indirect. I'm DHVing a lot, and like Mark said, have more direct subcoms. You could build tension that way. And at some point, the girl is going to start chasing a little bit or quite a bit. So that's why I like indirect.
Yeah.
But look, it really depends. Like, I think it depends on who you are, right? If you are very good looking, if you're 6'3", super handsome, you're decently charming, confident, you can go out, you can save a lot of time in a lot of your interactions by going indirect. But especially if you know how to handle, pushback, let's say, or rejection at the beginning. Because you go in direct, the girl has a decision to make, right?
Yeah.
Should I, no or yes? Doesn't mean you can't turn a no around, but if you're flustered, you don't know how to turn that no into a yes, then I mean you're fucked. Yeah. So it's probably better to go indirect, build up all of that value, that attraction, and start making it a lot more man to woman or direct, let's say.
Yeah.
Sure.
I agree. Good shit. Okay. On a cold approach after DHV, can you give examples of how to make her qualify?
Yeah, I mean, I can give you some like broad answers here. Like, firstly, I'd want to be setting up this dynamic not just after you've opened and DHV'd. Like, yes, that's probably a step where you're able to do it the most because you have value. But I'd be thinking about this and bringing it into my game like a little bit earlier. So every single time you ask a question and she responds, I'm going to be setting up a dynamic that I'm judging that response. Now, at the beginning, it's probably going to be a positive judgment. So, hey, where are you from? She says, that's really cool. Amazing. But, hey, where do you work? She's like, I do this for work. You can set it up. Be like, okay. Do you like doing that? These elements of judgment are going to put her on her toes. She's going to realize, okay, everything is being judged here, whether she realizes or not. So I'm going to try make my answers as good as possible. I'm going to try and impress this guy. So now you have elements of chasing here. Then, as you said, once you build up that value, pull back a little bit. It's going to be really hard for her to try to impress you if all you're demonstrating through your subcoms is that you're fucking in love with her. Okay, she's not going to worry that. But if you pull back your subcoms a little bit, you don't seem so eager, then she's going to want to impress you a little bit more. And then from there, you just ask questions that, again, you can judge her on. So, hey, you seem a little bit adventurous. I like that. I'm curious, like, what's the most fucked up thing you've done? What's the craziest thing? Like, you can ask these questions, and again, she's gonna try DHV essentially back to you. So just to summarize, there is everything should be a judgmental tone, whether it's positive or negative. Build that value, and then pull back your subcoms so that you're not so you leave room for her to chase there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds fucking perfect.
Absolutely.
That is on point as fuck. Yeah, I mean, exactly. That's the thing. Like, if you're too on or like too eager or looking fucking desperate, why would she qualify? Her existence, she already qualified by just existing. So,
but look, if you DHV very fucking well and you DHV a lot of girls will actually naturally qualify. So you don't have to try to get her to qualify, because a lot of guys fuck up interactions by focusing way too much on making her qualify. I've noticed this, the past couple of weeks. It's like, well, okay, my biggest question is, how do I make her qualify? I'm not doing it. How do I do it? And it's like, well, it's not going to work out.
Yeah,
if that is your main focus. Your main focus over making her qualify is building up your own value, is DHVing. So usually I tell my students, just fucking forget about making her qualify.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Like, there's a time and place where you can make her qualify in very subtle ways, like Mark was explaining. But if you just focus on DHVing, very often you're not going to need to make her qualify at all. Yep. Most of my interactions, I'm not making the girl qualify unless I need to do it with this particular girl, right? Maybe it's a girl that's, I don't know, ultra fucking confident and a little bit narcissistic, bratty. Then I could kind of focus on that a little bit, but like 99% of the time I don't focus on that. It's just pure DHVs.
Yeah, I agree. Like, making a qualify really is about not fucking up, right? It's about it's not something you should do. It's about things that you shouldn't be doing. Like, making a qualify, as you said, like, just make sure you're not like validating away too much. Make sure you're not DLVing yourself. Make sure you don't seem desperate. Like, if you just do all the things correct, she's going to try and pressure. It just naturally will happen.
And look, I thought about this. Like, where does making her qualify come from? Like, game wise, like who came up with that mystery or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it's some like prize frame bullshit. It's like usually does the opposite. Usually, like, they'll just flip it back on you, right? If you try to do it too overtly.
I think they created the whole the stage of making her qualify because they're not DHVing, or their DHVs are shit. Like, I don't know, magic tricks, magic fucking tricks. Is that a DHV? Card tricks?
Yeah. It's fucking retarded. Like, it's so fucking
or like some super long monologue about like looking after your niece and cultivating a garden or something.
Display protector DHV. Yeah, I mean, that's also. I mean, you're protecting DHV, like, better ones fighting.
I think the reason why Mystery thought his monologues worked, the only reason I think is because I think sometimes they did. In the sense that he would just talk about some random shit for a long time. And in his mind, he's telling himself like, oh, I'm implementing all these DHVs into my story and I'm doing this. I think the girl is just thinking, this guy's super eccentric and mysterious. And he looks like he dresses weird. Like, I think they're just thinking, this is some really popular, famous, quirky, weird dude. Right, and the guy's just standing there talking to himself for half an hour, and I think some girls, I'm not saying this guy was slaying, but I think some girls would probably just be like, this guy's really quirky, mysterious, and I kind of find that attractive. I don't think it's like the magic tricks, obviously, or the random long story. And then when you have just normal people that address normally and shit, and then there's monologuing for a while, girls are like, you're retarded. Like, it's boring. Like, what are you doing? They just get rejected.
And then on top of that, like, Mystery is well spoken. Like, he is very confident. Like, I saw
there is some like mystery, for lack of a better word. There is some mystery to the way he talks and explains things, and he's like eccentric about it.
Mm.
But then then you have like Bob come along, and he's like, "Oh, I've got a story for you. So last week I went out in the woods with my friends, and we were camping, and I was really worried about my nephew, and I really care about my friends. Like, I cultivate my friendships with all my friends, and it's really important." And the girl's like, "What? Like, what is happening?"
Yeah.
Poor Bob gets rejected.
Bro, when I lived in Vegas, like back in 2017, there was so many mystery looking dudes all around the fucking club. It was unbelievable. Listen, I would just sit down or stand next to these interactions. They're wearing like the mystery hat. They have like the card, everything. I never one single time, okay, not one time saw an interaction last more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, of course not.
It was like, I didn't know who Mystery was at the time. Where I was like, why does everyone wear this hat and they're doing like card tricks? And it's
right.
Yes, it's like, it's my first time in Vegas. So I thought maybe they're like magicians or some shit, like they're performing at
magic
some bar
convention
or casino or some
I
shit.
don't understand, like, what's the logic behind it working? It's like if I'm going up to a girl and I start breakdancing in front of her. People are impressed by breakdancing with magic or same shit, right?
These are nerds in the basement that do Dungeons and Dragons. They do cards, magic.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
If they could bring their like railroad, set, collector set, to the fucking club and talk about that, they would. Yeah. So I think what they're doing is like, oh, we're really good at magic, and some people like magic. So that's like a tool or a skill we can try to implement into our game.
I genuinely believe that this community is underground and has a bad rep because there are so many nerds. Like it's nerdy. Like people make it so nerdy.
No, really. Look, I remember when I first. By the way, when I was learning game, I didn't know the pickup community existed. I didn't know this was a real thing. I thought the whole pickup thing was like on TV, or like I thought it was just like movies and shit. Yeah. But I remember like joining these groups, these Facebook groups for the first time, and reading through all these posts. I thought it was the fucking creepiest thing. I thought it was fucking weird. It was creepy. The dudes were fucking low T nerds. I'm sorry, guys, but I thought it was really, really fucking whack, really bad. Like I wouldn't hang out with this is what I was thinking at the time. I wouldn't hang out with any of these people in these groups. But when you're around these communities and these groups for a long time, you kind of forget how weird it really is, or kind of a lot of guys are creepy, because you're just kind of used to it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I had this same feeling when I was gaming. That's when the whole RSD thing came out. Well, maybe it was before. I don't know when it started, but dude, seeing like people like lying on the floor and shit. Do you remember that? Like, weird. They weren't even breakdancing. Yeah, the weird like crab dance or whatever it was, and I was like, what the fuck is happening to people? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, what? Why are we teaching people to be socially uncalibrated? Like, it just felt like a really strange thing to teach, and it did. I just looked like super socially uncalibrated.
Well, I can tell you why.
I think the most concerning thing I ever have, right, is if I have a student and he's new to game, and then he tells me like, yeah, bro, I'm really struggling with girls. I don't really have any like female friends. I don't have any like girls that I've slept with. I really struggle, blah, blah. Oh, but by the way, I have zero approach anxiety. Like, that's the biggest red flag for me.
That's a red flag.
Where I'm like, yeah, you're probably lacking a lot of the social calibration. Like, as things we try to work out at other guys, but like that whole feeling of, oh, it does feel a little bit odd to go up to someone that's eating food and start speaking to them, or it like does feel a little bit odd that I'm doing this in front of all these other people, or like there is some like social consequence that could happen from this. Yeah, it's like a very normal feeling. Like approach anxiety is normal. And so like when you don't have that, or like you're trying to teach yourself that it's okay to act really strange in front of people, I don't think that's a good thing to teach. I think like you should learn to get over anxiety, but also keep the social calibration radar. Like if you're going up to someone and they're eating food, then you probably want to like do it in a way where you understand that you're like interrupting here. If you're approaching someone like we joked about before, in a dark alley, but like say you're approaching someone in a lift or like an elevator, what you guys call it, is you don't want to be super direct. You don't want the lift doors to close, turn around and be like, hey, listen, I just had to tell it, and open like super direct to this girl where she can't fucking move anywhere. You probably want to go a little bit more indirect.
Bro,
So,
I have a good video. Hold on. Keep going.
So like it's like when I started seeing people like lay down on the floor and shit, I'm like, dude, it's one thing to get over the fact like, okay, you shouldn't worry about rejection so much. You should be able to go up and speak to girls. You shouldn't be worried. But like, you shouldn't feel that it's okay to like lay in the middle of the road or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, or like crab dance around people and freak them out. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's absolutely retarded. But I can tell you why. It's because the people who created those courses, they're also kind of socially weird. Seem like.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you would never tell someone to do that unless you were.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Like you have to be a special type of person to recommend guys that they should fuck girls by doing a crab dance. You need to be a really special type of person.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. What did you got for a Swift?
Here, I'll send you a different link. All right, try this. It's just a 10-second. It just kind of reminded me of this video.
What the fuck? Okay, let's
all right, hang on. Let me pull this up. Present, share screen. Oh, have you got it already, Alex?
The video?
Oh, sorry, don't worry. I'm pulling it up. Hey, you'll need to bring it on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just you and me now.
Yeah.
Touch you. All right, dude. What the flip?
Exactly.
Wait. Turn it up and play it again.
Oh, is the volume?
Yeah.
Can you hear it or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me now. I'm gonna touch you. All right, dude. What the flip?
Oh, man.
He looks like a guy who would say that. He looks like a guy who would say
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
That's the kind of infield I want to see from Alex right there.
Oh, bro, let's do it.
Do a compilation of like this is you shouldn't open like this, okay?
Yeah.
Don't open like this compilation.
Yes, don't open like this compilation, except you open like that and still close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Or just make a video just going against everyone's advice and still making it work.
Yeah, I want to see you. I want to see you RSD lie on the ground. Okay, don't open like this.
Yeah,
and then you make it work, bro. Alex, do a magic trick.
Do it, bro. Learn magic. Learn fucking magic.
Yeah,
do a magic trick, but it doesn't even work.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like the worst magic
Bro,
trick.
Is this your card? She's like, no. Be like, okay, fuck, don't worry about that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that would work a lot.
That would be more effective.
Yeah.
It'd be more effective.
Oh man, let's go.
Actually, like I would be
guys, send in that. If you have recommendations. Half of you guys are in the Mastermind. If you have recommendations, just comment them, send them in. Don't open like this for Alex. Tell us how you want to open.
Fun.
Any tips on approaching girls at restaurants when she's with 5 or more friends or workers where you can't be in the interaction too long? Yeah, I mean, just false time constraint is going to be like your biggest friend to you. Like if she's in a restaurant eating with 5 people, like you're probably not going to pull up a chair, sit down and chat for a while, right? This is a situation where, I would just false time constraint this. It depends like what the circumstance is. Like what I'm picturing is like you're walking past a restaurant and it's like outside or some shit. I may even have Infield of this, but yeah, I would just go up, time constraint, open the group. I'd probably after that show some intent on my girl, DHV a little bit, and then just grab a number and hope to text after that. I mean, you could try stay longer, but if they're all eating food and shit, there's so much compliance. I wouldn't worry about it.
It could get a little bit weird.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it depends on how the girls react to you, right? Like, look, some girls are going to be super receptive and talkative if you go up. Some groups or some girls are not going to be receptive, and they're not going to give a fuck how good your game is. They're going to want you to fuck off shortly after, right?
Yeah.
So I think you got to gauge to see, like, all right, what kind of group is this? Like, if it's a group of 5 girls, they're having brunch and they're having fun and they're loud and they're laughing, and you walk up and you make a funny comment and they bring you in, well, that's a little bit different, right? Like, I mean, there are times where I'd walk by and I'd look down, I'm like, oh my God, that looks so fucking good. What are you eating? Should I eat here? Sort of thing. Oh my God, it's so good. Da, da, da. And now I'm just seeing, like, all right, how's everybody reacting to me? All right.
That's very good. I mean, sometimes they will straight up just ask you, like, hey, do you want to sit down? And then you can do it.
Easy.
Yeah. But it's fuck, bro. It's so much comes down to reading like non-verbals. Like, girls are gonna give you indirect signs that they don't want to talk to you.
Bro, like, girls, they may go, you want to bite? You want to try it? Like, if one girl offers you her food, and it's like, all right, well, I think that's a good sign.
Yeah. But I think guys make this mistake of overstaying their welcome, even if it's going well. For example, let's say you do like a gym interaction. Eventually, it's just like, yo, bro, like, I want to get back to my fucking squats.
Yep.
Just staying for too long. Okay. I don't know if we have many more questions though. So yeah, I mean, we've been for like 2 hours.
And look, if you guys have any requests for YouTube live topics, let us know. Because I think next live we're just gonna go through my my Instagram shorts. Just watch all my my shorts, my feed.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff to react to.
Yeah. All right, guys.
What do you do? What time is it there, Alex?
It's 12
p.m.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You gonna go game?
I'm gonna go to Starbucks to start with.
Yeah. All right, so you're gonna go game.
But
all right.
that's usually where I game. So
Yeah, sweet.
yeah,
Perfect.
it's incorporated. Yeah,
It's a good game venue.
it is honestly like I think the best. It is fucking
Yeah,
incredible.
guys, if there's any content you want us to like break down, have a look at and shit, let us know. I mean, we could probably find. Otherwise, we're going to do a small dick. Every single week is going to be Reddit. So this is your warning, okay? If you don't want to spend the first 20 minutes talking about small dick problems, all right, send us some things you want us to have a look at, break down, and then any other topics and stuff. So, all right, thanks everyone.
Cool. Peace out.
See you guys.